Time is Never Found Again. Or is it? By blahblahblah1703. Chapter 4. Peter, do you remember? I asked quietly, prepared for him to be super confused at my question. Instead, he kisses me full on the lips. Our first kiss with both of us present, attentive, and completely consenting, since our kiss under the lightning tree during the quell. The now familiar hunger in my stomach, that only Peter can bring out, is once again present. And I know, without a doubt, that this is my Peter. My boy with the bread. My dandelion in the spring. My hope. When we pull back, he looks at me, relieved, and I am sure I look the same. He almost starts crying. You remember? Katniss, do you know what's going on? I can't believe we're back. We are back, right? I'm so glad you're here. And okay. He pulls me into his lap, his arms wrapping around me, his tears finally falling. I just pull my face into his neck, breathing him in. The smell of cinnamon and dill and something else I have never figured out what it is, only calling it Peter in my head. Peter! 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 I repeat his name, finally falling apart and crying also. Unable to believe my Peter is back, and I am not alone anymore. Sure, I had Prim back, but if Peter didn't have his memories too, I think I would have felt even more lonely here than I did back at the capital after I lost Prim. Shh, Katniss. It's okay. I'm here. It's all right, he soothes, rubbing his hand up and down my back to calm me down, knowing perfectly what exactly I need from him at this moment. We just sit and cling to each other for a few long minutes, both of us overwhelmed at the thought of being back together. When we finally calm down slightly, we both pull back out of our hug at the same time, grinning at each other, unbothered by the other's red faces and puffy eyes. I am so happy to see you, he whispers, bringing his hand up to gently wipe at my wet cheeks, wiping off the tear tracks with his steady hand. You have no idea. I thought you wouldn't remember. Or, if you did. I trail off, not knowing what to say, unsure if I would cause him to have a flashback like he has been having. I see the minute his face falls. Katniss, I am so sorry. I will never forgive myself for the things I said, the things I did. I tried to kill you, Katniss, he whimpers, unable to look me in the eye. Peter, that wasn't you, I whisper to him, kissing his forehead from my perch in his lap. That was the capital. I just need to know what can set you off and how I can help. Are you still affected by the venom since we came back? I question him softly, pleasantly surprised when he shakes his head. I can tell the difference now. The fake implanted memories from the real ones. It's like... Okay, close your eyes, he tells me softly. I do what he tells me, so surprised by his surety of no longer being affected by the Tracker-Jacker venom, but also completely trusting him. That isn't a problem. He would never put me in danger again, if he has any say. He gently pulls my hand up and positions it in front of him, palm up. Okay, imagine a mini Prim or a mini me, so small you could put them in your pocket, or in the palm of your hand. I can immediately do that. I imagine the both of them, so tiny they could walk up each of my fingers. You see it? I just nod at him again. Now open your eyes. I open my eyes, turning to look into the clear ocean colour of his, finding peace, acceptance, and an overwhelming love reflected back at me. Look at your hand. There's no mini Prim or Peter. There's emptiness. You can imagine them so clearly, but you know they were never there. It wasn't real. I immediately understand what he is trying to say. You remember everything they tried to make you believe, but you know it wasn't real. That when you open your eyes, it was never there in the first place. I repeat back to him, making sure the point was accurately gathered on my end. He just nods at me with a big smile, tucking a stray lock of hair behind my ear. I let out a little laugh of pure joy and relief before I catch myself looking at his lips. Unable to stop myself, I lean into his kiss once again. And him being Peter, he is unable to stop me, or unwilling to deny me, is more accurate. When we finally part for the second time, I reluctantly get off his lap, sliding back onto the towel. But I have his hand in a steady grip, and I still throw my legs over his. It reminds me of the interviews after the games, where I kicked off my heels and just allowed myself to rely on Peter, trusting him to get us through them. Peter, we need to talk about what is going on and what's going to happen, I tell him seriously, and I watch as his face becomes serious also, all of that laughter and light evaporating, the innocence I usually associate with him disappearing in the blink of an eye. You're right. Do you know how we're here? I just remember having an episode in the capital where they were keeping me, and a woman trying to calm me down, though I don't remember her face. And then, all of a sudden, I'm in my room above the bakery, the one I shared with Rye, and it's New Year's Day. He shares with me, looking at me hopefully that I have the answer, and I am sorry to disappoint him. I shake my head at him slowly, digesting what he said. That's almost my exact story too, I tell him. I was panicking just after talking to Snow. He cuts me off. Katniss! You went to talk to him? Were you alone? Please tell me Gale or a bodyguard went with you. He begs, obviously distressed about me being alone with the sociopath we call a president. I squeeze his hand to calm him down, rubbing my hand soothingly up and down his bicep. Peter, he was being kept prisoner in his greenhouse. He didn't have any weapons or anything to hurt me. There were guards stationed right outside the door. I was safe, I tell him. However, he did get in my head, but I think he was telling me the truth. I finish in a small voice, reliving the moment. He just wraps his arm around me, tucking me more into his side for comfort. What did he say, Kat? He asks. He said he didn't drop the bombs that killed Prim. I whisper, unsure if he even heard me until he stiffens at my side. Pulling me sideways into his lap once more, and tipping my chin towards him with his hand so that he can see my face. Prim? He questions me sadly, obviously upset at the thought. Of course he didn't know. He was still being treated, and any bad news like that would have just sent him back dramatically. I just nod at him, the lump in my throat hindering me from speaking as a lone tear falls down my cheek. He wipes it away and kisses the same cheek, rubbing his head down the back of my head and my braid, providing comfort in the best way he knows how. Coin and 13 dropped them, I tell him, watching as his face turns murderous. Somehow, I am nervous to tell him the next bit of information, scared of what he will do, but also knowing everything will be all right, because it's Peter. Gale designed the trap, I whisper to him. Target innocents, and wait for responders to jump in to help. Prey on their weaknesses of compassion and empathy, their desire to help others. I trail off. Peter literally growls, he is so angry. It is almost completely involuntary because I can tell it surprises him too. And when I look at him questioningly, he explains, You are the type of person that idea targets. You are the first volunteer ever in 12 in order to save your sister. You ran into unknown danger the second you heard Rue calling for you. You went into a feast to get me my medicine. And that was only on our first games, he tells me, passionate as I have ever heard him. Katniss, you are one of the most loving, compassionate and caring people I have ever met. Everything you do for someone else. Every single thing. It's one of the things I love most about you, he proclaims. I can't help myself. I lean over to kiss him again. My sweet, sweet Peter. I will never let them turn you into something you're not again. When we part, I tell him, I love you too. He smiles the biggest smile I have ever seen come from him. You mean that? He asks with wonder in his voice. I nod. Yes, Peter. I mean that. He pulls me in for a deep kiss, one that brings back the hunger from earlier. We pull apart after one final peck, and I snuggle back down into his lap, burying my face once more in his neck. After a few minutes of sitting like this, pure joy radiating from both of us, I once more vacated his lap, knowing neither of us would talk about anything else important while I sit there. I just jump right back into it. He knows tact isn't my strong suit, and this is something we really do need to talk about today. After we talked, I was obviously panicking. I tell him in a small, sad smile. I slid down the side of the greenhouse, and I heard a woman come up to me, talking to me. I thought she was trying to calm me down. I felt a sharp needle prick my arm, and when I woke back up, I was with Prim in the seam. I finish. He nods. So, what do we do? I'm not going to pretend we don't love each other. Let's start there. I want to scream it from the rooftops that you love me. He smiles his goofy, slightly crooked smile. I agree. Plus, there's no way I'd be able to keep it a secret anyway, so there's no point in trying. But are you okay with what's going to happen? You'll likely lose some friends, I tell him nervously. You're a Lurchy, and I'm from the seam. Last time it didn't matter because we were victors, but now it's going to be bad, Peter. Are you okay with that? I ask him nervously, scared he's going to change his mind. He just kisses my forehead. Katniss, I have loved you since we were 5. I don't care how anyone else sees us. If we both weren't destined to go into the games, I would have gone into the mines for you, left town for good. I would have done anything to be with you. You have to know that by now. He looks at me. His crystal blue eyes look so similar to the half-frozen lake 2 hours north into the woods. I just nod, slightly choked up. Wow, we really are sentimental tonight, aren't we? I think. So, no hiding. I nod my head with a smile. We just need to figure out how we're both going to survive these games. Again. How we're going to overthrow Snow. Again. And preferably without coin all 13, all the while not getting anyone we love or ourselves killed in the meantime. I list off, overwhelmed by the task ahead of us. Katniss. Breathe. We made it happen the first time. Mostly. And this time we are better prepared. Not kept in the dark or focused on the wrong things. We just need to take it a step at a time right now. Plan for the biggest and closest threats. He says soothingly. See, this is why I leave all of this up to Peter and Hamish. I either panic or just end up throwing it all away anyway. Okay, so obviously, the first big obstacle we need to figure out is the 74th games. I theorize. We both need to get out. But considering last time we were able to survive is because of our romance, if this time we are actually together, it should be the same, right? I look at him for reassurance. He nods. It was a little bit more complicated than that, but essentially, yes. The berry thing might happen again, though. And honestly, I think it needs to. It's the big push people needed to revolt. It was 2 kids from 12, 2 tributes even. And they outsmarted the Capitol, so I think we need to do it again. I agree, along with what I did for Rue, I say quietly, still upset over her death. The girl's so much like my little sister. Peter winces. Kat, we need to be prepared for that to happen again. We are going to save so many people, including Rue's little siblings. But to do that, we both need to survive. And we know if that happens, then Rue can't. I just tear up once again and nod. As a big sister myself, I know that's the option she would want. For her sisters and brother. Even if it breaks my heart that I can't save her. I whimper, almost unable to get my sentence out. I know. No one decent would ever feel differently. So, if our game strategy hasn't changed, the biggest thing is going to be whether or not you go with the careers. I would really prefer if you didn't, I tell him, borderline begging. I won't, not this time. I know they don't find you until after the fire, and there was nothing I could do when they did. So, this time, I will be right beside you the whole time. We can camp out in our cave, or you can teach me to climb trees, and we'll just do our best. Anything can change once we're in there. We have to remember that. He tells me seriously, making sure I understand that he isn't leaving me, and even if we are together, we still need to be super, super, super careful. I think we need to train again, I told him. Just like before the quell. I can take you into the woods. We can do sprints, and I can show you even more plants. And we can do sit-ups and push-ups and all the exercises you know. You were so good at the snares Gail showed you. I don't think I could help you there anymore. But I can teach you to swim. And this time, I could maybe get you at least decent with a bow. He nods, agreeing. I obviously still remember a lot of the plants from the book we did while you were injured. But a few more can't hurt, especially the medicinals. And learning to swim sounds good. Not just the small lesson you gave me in the quell. I also think you should hang around your house a little more when people are brought to your mum. I would do it if I could, but I need to be at the bakery, and at least one of us needs to know how to heal. I agree with him, even if I wish I didn't. All that stuff still freaks me out. His injured leg is still one of the most horrible things I have ever seen, even after 2 arenas and so many months of actual war. However, he's right. One of us needs to know what to do just in case. And even if we don't need to use it for his leg, one of us will probably be injured at some point during the games. It's pretty much impossible not to be. So I try to learn everything I can from Mum. Okay, I can do that. I nod at him. You need to do your best at wrestling. I know the season is about to start, and this time you can't let Brio win like you did last time. I scold him. He just grins at me. You knew I let him win. I blush, nodding, unaware of why I am embarrassed about knowing that little tidbit of information. Okay, baby, I won't let him win this time, he says smugly, though I am not sure why. Baby? Peter Ryan Malark, I am not a baby. I scowl at him, not at all enthused by his nickname choice. Oh, come on, Katniss. I know you aren't a baby, but you're my baby, he said with a goofy smile. Plus, I've loved you since we were basically babies. He trails off. I still scowl at him, but I don't say anything else. He makes a decent point even if I don't love the nickname. I can tell he's thought a lot about using it, though. He looks so proud of himself and genuinely likes the name. I want to tell him not to use it, but I can't bring myself to tell him off for it. Not in front of anyone else, I say firmly, my finger directly pointed to his face, trying my best to make my point heard. Especially Haymitch. He just nods, his goofy grin widening even more at my acceptance. Okay, we keep getting distracted. I trail off, trying to figure out how much time has passed based on where the sun is in the sky. It must be almost 7 or so. The sky has darkened a lot, and we only have a little bit before the sun is fully down. Peter must also figure this out, because he stands up and reaches out his hand to help me up also. Once we are both standing, he picks up the towel, shaking it to rid it of the grass stuck to it, folds it, and carefully putting it into his blue backpack. He reaches for my hand and starts walking towards the scene. I need to make sure you're home before dark. But what time should we meet up for training? Wrestling starts this week, and I won't be available after school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We don't get out until 6, and that's too late to go into the woods. Should we go Wednesdays and Fridays after school? Say 3? I'll be free those days, as I only work Mondays after school. Rye is learning to take over from Dad, so he has after-school shifts Tuesdays through Fridays. I will have a shift on Saturdays, but I could switch with Dad for the afternoon shift. He's used to getting up early and might like the free afternoons. Peter trails off, finishing his thought, and talking to himself to try to work it out. I just smile, used to having to talk through things to understand them. Sure, Peter. Ask your dad and we can definitely meet up after school on Wednesday. I need to go hunting tomorrow morning before school. Hopefully I can get some fresh meat. I answer as we turn into the scene from the meadow, well aware we are attracting looks with our entwined hands. Not to mention the smile on my face probably looks very out of place to my neighbours, since, odds are, they haven't seen me smile since my dad was alive. He stops suddenly, pulling me with him, and causing me to look up towards him after a quick but thorough scan of our surroundings, trying to see what's wrong. He lowers his voice before speaking. You have enough food, right? He looks so concerned, with a furrowed brow and a small frown. Very clearly concerned for me and my family's well-being. I just give his hand a quick squeeze. I got a really good haul yesterday. I whispered back. I used some of the knowledge from the training centre to help me get some flour substitutes, and I got quite a few berries for jam and tea, and I even found some walnuts. We're fresh out of meat, but we have enough to last us. I stand on my tiptoes and kiss his cheek. His 5'8" is a pretty big difference to my 5'3", though I know the better and consistent food after the 74th, he would get up to 5'11" to my final 5'4". He smiles and squeezes my hand this time. Good. Please, please, please let me know if that changes, especially with February coming up. The weather's going to get even worse. Plus, we need to be eating a lot, and good stuff, like your mum had us on before the quell. Training is going to suck. He leans over to kiss the top of my head. I know this news will be all over the scene before the first bell tomorrow. A Murchie and a seam girl? Not just any seam girl, but fiery Katniss Ayla Everdeen. It is very funny that Cinna, another person who is alive now, came up with the girl on fire thing. I was already known for being quite fiery back home, blazing through anyone who tried to mess with Prim, and quietly burning with poorly concealed rage. It really does make me curious as to how my neighbours will react to us being together. Something I definitely figure out in the next few days. We walk up to my shack of a house, but honestly, I am not embarrassed. I love my home. It has some of the best memories of my father. Him getting back from his shift in the mines and swirling me around the room. Him presenting the perfect orange to me on New Year's 1 year as a treat. Even him singing me to sleep when I was little. And later us singing together. Peter and I stop on my tiny front porch, and he leans down, asking permission with just one look, and I quickly grant it. The kiss isn't passionate, not like the one on the beach, and it isn't forced like most of our kisses were. Neither of us are injured or faking or under scrutiny. Instead, it's perfect. It is sweet and soft and gentle, and all the good things. It is pure love and joy. When we pull back, he has another goofy grin on his face. I just roll my eyes with fondness and give him one last small peck before opening my door. I'll see you at school. Meet me by the flagpole before class? I ask him, for some reason slightly shy and unsure. He just keeps that grin on his face, nodding almost like a bobblehead. I'll be there. Good night, Katniss. I grin at him in response, mouthing, I love you, and then my grin drops into an indulgent smile when he mouths the words back, before turning to walk back to the bakery, stopping right at the edge of our road and turning back towards me, happy to see me watching him walk away. With a final big wave, he turns the corner and disappears from sight. End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that one. I love that one. One of the things about Katniss and Peter is that communication is a little bit unsteady. Let's put it mildly, in canon. They love each other ferociously, and in this they're just allowed to show it and feel it. Katniss understands herself so much better now, at least her emotions and how to process and feel them. She's done hiding how much she loves Peter, and I adore that. And the boy is getting his dream come true right now. The girl of his dreams is finally wholeheartedly in it. Love it. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Check me out on Ko-fi and Patreon, links in the description down below. And remember to like, comment and subscribe. And have a good day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Bye my guys, gals and albino pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care.